Okay, so we've got the UPVC doors, a couple of adjustments we can make. We can either move the whole door upwards, bodily, or we can tilt the door backwards or forwards, depending on where it's catching. So if you have a door that's catching on the bottom, here, you need to look at the relationship between the door and the frame. I know this one is a French door, but it doesn't matter if it's a fixed frame or another door here. So get the door very slightly ajar, check the gap. So you can see here, you've got a couple of millimeters. But if you look down here, you've got more like 6 millimeters. So to rectify that, you just need a small flat blade screwdriver and an Allen key, 5 millimeter Allen key. So if you look at the hinge, just pop this little plastic cover off, little rubber cover, and that will expose an Allen screw in there. You probably can't see it on the film. Pop the Allen key in, unwind it, and you can see the relationship changing between the part of the hinge fixed to the door and the part of the hinge fixed to the frame. And you can see that that's pushing the door across. So just do a couple of turns on that one. Obviously, if I'm winding this one, I need to wind the middle one a little as well. So again, just pop out the rubber cover, make sure you don't lose those. So to wind this one out on the left-hand door, so the hinges are on the left, I'm just winding that clockwise. If it was on the other side, it would be anti-clockwise. So well, that's done. Okay, it's moved across slightly, still needs a little more. So in theory, if you wind that one sort of 4 turns, this one should only need to move a couple of turns. Okay, so that's pretty good. That's reduced to about 3 millimeters. So I'm going to take this one the opposite way. I'm going to wind it in slightly so that the door is parallel with the frame that it's meeting. So obviously I need to go anti-clockwise. Tad more. So there you go, you can see that that's pretty parallel now. Got about 3 millimeters here, about 3 millimeters here. So this door's actually fine now, that's closing fine, that's all it needed. Winding the door, tilting it like that, obviously, will raise this point of the door. You're moving it back and up. So if it's catching at the bottom and it's out of parallel, that's the adjustment to do. If when you come to look at that, it's still parallel, but it's catching at the bottom, there's another adjustment. And to get at that, you need to pop off this rubber cover in the top of the hinge, which is a bit fiddly, but that pops off and exposes these 2 Allen screws. So it's the back Allen screw that winds it up. And you can see winding that changes the height of the door. So what this is doing is actually moving this part of the hinge up the frame of the door. So you can just do that until the door performs well, so it's not catching at the bottom. If you look at these roller cams, you can see that they'll enter the slots there. Quite difficult to see, but as long as they're entering and the latch is working and the lock's operating, and you've cracked it. Cut. Okay, there's one final adjustment. So the door's closing fine now. It's got a little rattle there. Really easy to sort out. Look at the receiver. Again, it's the same whether it's a door or if it's a fixed frame. Just take a Phillips screwdriver, loosen the 2 screws, get the tap in, This one needed a couple of millimeters, I think. Yeah, it's fine. There's a slight rattle. I'll tighten it up again in a second, but you can see the adjustments for the sake of the video. And then the final thing on this door, that's a little stiff. When you try and raise the handle, you can do it, but it's a little bit stiff. So if you look at these roller cams, got a little dot on the top in this case. Now if you watch the roller cam, I turn it, it's actually twisting the cam around. It's on an eccentric, so it will move closer to the leading edge of the door. And the only reason it was tight is that these roller cams are too tight on this face of the receiver. So if I twist the cams away, it will give them more clearance on that face. So these were all bang on the top, so they're at sort of 12 o'clock. I'll adjust them to sort of 1 o'clock-ish, 2 o'clock, give them a try.